cord to this computer. Okay, anyone have any requests?
Core.
Core?
Yeah, core.
Yeah. Are you guys all on a wood surface?
Yeah,
No.
I'm on it.
Okay, skip it. Do you guys have blocks?
Yeah.
No, no worries. You can utilize them if you have them, and if not, don't worry about it. If you would, I love being able to kind of chat with you in the beginning, but if you wouldn't mind, this might be why they're not connecting. Okay, now I have an echo. Okay, if you wouldn't mind muting yourself, that's helpful. How is my sound? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's just not as good as
It's fine.
the AirPods, but they're not working. So I can try them maybe halfway through and they'll plug in. Okay, so I wanted to set an intention. I have been personally like really diving into the Yoga Sutras, been doing a lot of work with Bhavani Maki, who is one of my teachers and is kind of the mother of the Yoga Sutras, it seems like. She's so knowledgeable. And so that's been a really big focus for my practice, and it's been really bringing a lot of life to my practice in this moment. So I thought I would share a little bit. I thought we would talk about the word samadhi, which I'm sure we've all heard of. And samadhi is the 8th limb of the 8-limb path of yoga, and often can be miscued as the goal of yoga. But when we look at the text of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, in the very, very beginning, like the first couple sutras, Patanjali does use the word yoga, and defined in multiple ways, but really as this yoking, this union. And in summary, we start with the tangible. It's the union of which we can experience on the mat, the breath, the eyes, the sensations of the posture. So it's the union of this package. And then as we progress on this journey of yoga, we start to look at a bigger experience of union, and ultimately it's taking this package and unifying it with that package. So it's the unity of all things. And in all things yoga, we start with the gross, we move to the subtle. We have this tangible practice of asana, this tangible practice of pranayama with the tools and the techniques so that we can really experience on our gross form, the physical matter form, union. And so if we were to kind of look, then yoga, the word yoga is substituted for the rest of the Yoga Sutras as samadhi. And, often it will be kind of translated as bliss, unwavering joy, this state of like full experience of what is yoga. And that was like a bit lofty for me in the beginning, where it was like, can I experience that state? Really, what is that state? And then Bhavani has kind of created a new definition, at least for me in my studies, where it's consistent integration. And again, we can come back to the tangible, and it's in every moment. First on our mat, we have the opportunity to integrate, consistent integration. So we'll practice and set our intention on the integration of the focused eyes, the attention to the bandhas, the awareness of the breath, and that essentially turns down the volume of everything else. And then she has further defined samadhi as an ability to hold multiple perspectives at once. Now, this has really landed for me in the sense that, right, yoga is, we don't come to yoga to get good at yoga. We come to yoga to get good at life. And yoga is all about relationships, and it starts with the relationship of ourselves, for that's the foundation for how we relate outside of ourselves. And if we're in a state of yoga, this sensation of unity, we're able to look beyond the thoughts. Right, and so Patanjali says, yoga is the ability to still the fluctuations of the mind.
When we do that, we reside in our brilliance. We reside in our true nature. We reside in this endless feeling of joy. But when we don't do that, when we're not in a state of yoga, we get confused and we think we are the thoughts. We think we are the self-limiting beliefs. And there's a Harvard study that came out that said the average person has 80,000 thoughts in one day. 95% of those thoughts are reoccurring, and 80% of those thoughts are maladaptive or self-limiting. And so when we're living in this state, as yoga is telling us, then we think we are the thoughts. And when we think we are the thoughts, we end up projecting all that is unmetabolized within inside of us onto others, onto our experiences. And so if we, come back to, well, yoga ultimately in the sutras becomes this word samadhi, and samadhi is consistent integration, but also our ability to hold multiple perspectives at once, so that when we're, in any moment within our life, we can see, okay, that's a vritti, that's a thought pattern. That's not necessarily true because somebody's seeing that. Who is seeing that? Oh, that's my Atma, that's my true self, that's my brilliance, that's my nature. And then when we're in a conversation or in an argument, a heated moment, we can step back. First and foremost, we get some space from our thoughts, and then we get some space from whatever we're experiencing with that other individual. And that's really the real yoga. And so that's been kind of something I've personally been chewing on. And let's let that be our intention. And again, we start with the gross, we move to the subtle, and we can use that as a tangible intention of yoking in our experience, synchronizing the breath and the movement, using the focus of the drishti or the eye gaze, using the intelligence of the bandhas. Let that all put this package together so that we can ultimately, with no anticipation and with no goal set on it, but as we collect this package, then ultimately we'll, in a matter of a second, be able to experience the divinity or the connectivity of all things. And it's a feeling, right? It's a sensation, not necessarily, it's something that we can sit here and talk about, but it's really this sensation. Okay? Samadhi, good luck to you. All right, so core, Miss Lily has suggested. It's an interesting time for me in core, but we'll that doesn't mean that I can't teach things that I can't do, but we'll play with it, and Rocket's so good at that. So we'll kind of move towards Rocket 1. We only have an hour and 15 minutes, but we'll get in what we can. So samastitihi tuya. Go ahead and close down the windows of the eyes. And begin with a deep exhale, visualizing your nervous system discharging. And then as you inhale, siphon the prana in. And then again, as you exhale, allow yourself to release any need to accomplish, any need to do this practice. And then as you inhale, allow yourself to be in a state of experiencing, just as you are, seeing the wholeness in every moment. Let's begin our practice with one Again, exhale, discharge the nervous system. Inhale, siphon in the prana. Sit that vibration in. Now exhale, releasing the arms, open the eyes, Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Visualize yourself lifting your ribs off the pelvis. Draw the low belly in and up. Exhale, fold, bend the knees as much as you'd like. With an inhale, come halfway up, nice and long spine. And then exhale, step, jump or back, jump it back, chaturanga, lower halfway down. Inhale, heart goes forward to go up. Connect all 10 knuckles firmly into the ground. And then exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Go ahead and allow your head to soften into gravity. Feel free to create some movements in the hands and the feet. And I want you to think of that with every breath. The exhale is a chance to discharge. And the inhale is an opportunity to siphon in the prana, the life force energy. Go ahead and finish your exhale down at the tip of the tailbone. Inhale to the top of the mat, the feet hit, come halfway up. Exhale, fold, bending the knees as much as you'd like. With an inhale, rise on up. Again, picking the ribs up and off the pelvis. And then exhale, equal standing, finding vertical length as you lower the arms. Inhale, round two, arms lift, draw low belly in and up. Exhale, take the dive. With an inhale, come halfway up, stretch out through the crown of the head. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana, use the legs to lower. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, breathe up into the cavity of the chest. And then exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's check the length of our downward dog. With an inhale, come forward into plank and honestly stack your shoulders over your wrists and the balls of the feet over the heels. Now you can use your screen for this. Get your hips as high as the shoulders. Good. Without moving hands and feet, back to downward facing dog. The intention in downward facing dog is spinal extension. So how long can your dog get while you maintain a solid foundation in hands and feet? Exhale down to the tip of the tailbone. Find the end of the breath. Inhale to the top of the mat, feet hit, come halfway up. Exhale, fold, let the weight of the head lengthen the spine. Inhale, rise on up, low belly draws in and up, stretch vertically. Keep the vertical length, exhale, Samasthiti. Round three, fire up the legs, inhale. Exhale, take the dive. Inhale, uncoil the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana with strength and control, lower down. Inhale into your back bend, lift your sternum. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now focus the gaze down the line of the nose or the belly button. Meditate on completing each breath wave. Inhale to the collarbones. Exhale to the tip of the tail. And then allow the sensations of the posture to yoke the mind into the moment. Last exhale here. Inhale to the top of the mat, feet hit, halfway lift. Exhale, fold to let it go. Inhale, rise on up, reach up. And then exhale, equal standing Samasthiti. Just breath cues. Ekam, inhale. Dve, exhale. Trini, inhale. Chatori, exhale. Pancha, inhale. Shat, exhale. Breathe deeply. One. Use the tools and the techniques of the practice to create a state of samadhi, consistent integration. 4. 5. Sapta, inhale. Nava, exhale. Ashta, inhale. Samasthiti. Last one in silence. Enjoy.
5 breaths in your downward facing dog. And then holding Samastitihi as a moment to observe. Noticing the simplicity of the sun salutations, both in time and effort, but the effectiveness in shifting the perspective. And then just a quick check-in, how is my sound? I'm sorry that these are not working. Okay, we got thumbs up, okay, cool. I'm just like screaming right now in this room, so my whole neighborhood gets a little rocket in their life. We're gonna do 3 rounds of Surya Namaskara B. Again, exhale, discharge the nervous system. Inhale, Utkatasana, lift the heart, drop the tail. Exhale, Uttanasana, let the head go. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, long spine. Chaturanga Dandasana, step or jump it back. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Right foot steps. With an inhale and a lot of space between the heels, rise up, warrior 1. And then take the exhale back down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into the back bend. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot steps with an inhale, rise on up, Virabhadrasana A, draw the low belly in and up. And then exhale, move to the rhythm of your breath. Let that marriage drop the mind into the present moment. And then know that the practice of yoga is our ability to reside in the moment and discern between the fluctuations of the mind, giving us an opportunity to hold multiple perspectives at once, experiencing consistent integration. Last exhale here. Inhale to the top of the mat, feet hit, halfway lift. Exhale, fold deeply into your legs. Full circle, Utkatasana, sink low with the hips, reach high with the heart. We're going right back in. Exhale, ribs to quads, straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lily, watch those shoulders below the elbows. Inhale, warrior 1 when you're ready. I get to see you, even though you're a name. Exhale, hands on the ground, Chaturanga. And Louisa, when you come up into upward dog, I would put your head on straight instead of throwing it back. Keep it on straight and then push back downward dog. Second side, when you are ready, left foot steps. Exhale, hands on the ground. Vinyasa. Beautiful work, ladies. Your practices are all gorgeous and inspiring to watch. Okay, let's add in a little core work here. We can thank Lily for this one. With an inhale, right leg lifts. Now take a moment to align yourself. Dial your right pinky toe to the ground. Excite through the inner thigh of the right leg. Now with your breath, exhale, front ribs into back ribs, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale to the right. Right knee to right elbow or maybe up into the armpit. Inhale, extend. We cross. So knee comes towards the left armpit. Inhale, extend. Exhale, release. One breath here. Inhale, up into the collarbone. Exhale to the tip of the tail. Second side, left leg lifts. Dial that pinky toe to the ground, align the hips.
Hollow out the low belly like a pumpkin. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Get to the armpit. Lift high through the hips as the left knee comes to the left armpit. Inhale, extend. And then cross navel in and up. Inhale, extend. Exhale, release. Good. Full breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Step, jump, or walk to the top of the mat. Feet hip, come halfway up. Over strong legs, exhale, fold. Full circle, Utkatasana, sink low to reach high, and then swim it home, Samastiti. We rockify this round. Inhale, Utkatasana. These up levels are always optional. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Place your hands, take it up, Bakasana. Let the practice meet you. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into the back bend, breathe up into the cavity of the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Right foot steps. Inhale, rise on up, draw the low belly in and up. Yogi's choice, vinyasa or standing splits. Now, just as we did before, dial that left pinky toe to the ground. Reach up through the inner edge of the left thigh. And then we jump, kick to switch. Left foot forward. Inhale, Virabhadrasana A. And then same, but second side. Standing splits. Take a moment to tune into the inner thigh. Squeeze them to the midline. Trust your hands. Claw with your fingertips. Take it up. And vinyasa when you're ready. And then what is right for you? Downward dog or child's pose? Allow the exhales to discharge the nervous system. Why this practice works so well on toning the nervous system is how it heightens and drops it throughout the sequence. So as you feel the nervous system lifting with the effort that is asked of us, start to focus on your exhales. Find that surrender, find that release. Back to downward facing dog. With an inhale, to the top of the mat we go, halfway lift. Exhale, fold into your efforts. Full circle, Utkatasana, inhale. Come on home, Samastiti. Hands catch your hips, jump your feet hip distance apart. Zip the elbows, lift the sternum on an inhale, and then spill your pelvis forward like you're a bowl of water. Bring your first two fingers around your big toes. With an inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold to let it go. Now in this posture, we have the opportunity to study the intelligence of our legs. So try to stick with these alignment cues. Bring your awareness to the big toe mound. If you don't know what that is, look at the screen. Big toe mound right here. And I want you to push very firmly into the ground with that. Now with slightly bent knees, I want you to imagine that the outer edge of the knee, we're spinning to the back of the mat. So you can feel an opposition or a rinse between the big toe mound and the outer edge of the knees. Now, as if your quadriceps were straightening your legs, activate the quads as you straighten the legs, pull on your muscle socks. With that, your kneecap should align with your second and third toe. One more breath here. Inhale, halfway lift. Keep the intelligence of the feet and the legs. Slide hands underneath feet and fold. And then play around with that alignment cue on your own. Tap into the wisdom of the body. And allow the breath to smooth out any wrinkles in the process. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the hips, elbows up. Inhale, rise up. Big toes touch right into Utkatasana. Anchor the heels, pierce them down. Shift the knees back so you can see the big toes. Draw the navel in and up to align the tailbone. And then breathe up into the cavity of the chest like the sternum were attached to a puppet string. Straighten out the legs, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Place your hands flat on the ground. Take your knees into your underarms. Bakasana for 5. Look out in front of you. 4. Squeeze your heels to your sitting bones. 3, 2, 1. Step or jump it back to Chaturanga. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale, downward dog. Right foot steps, warrior 1. Exhales are a discharge of the nervous system. Inhales are an opportunity to experience inspiration from within. Virabhadrasana B, warrior 2. So see if you can surf the line between effort and sweetness. For potentially makes it very clear that we must sit in that which is uncomfortable. We must push into our edges for change. But within that discomfort, ultimately we start to let go of effort to find the ease of being just as we are. Right palm up, left arm backward birth. Exhale, Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. You're welcome to shorten the distance between the heels. Right hand touches somewhere, left arm lifts. And then as we start to soften the tension that is born of the effort, we're able to experience the endless pools of prana within us, the endless sources of energy. Good, inhale, rise on up. Square off the hips to the front of your mat, Parvrita Trikonasana. Spill the pelvis forward with a really long spine. Left hand touches somewhere, maybe it's on a block as the right arm lifts. Now in this pose, see if you can experience the twist in the thoracic spine. Breathe up into the cavity of the chest, clear space. Breathe down to the heels to find stability. Extended side angle, Utthita Parva Konasana. So still on the right. I'm bouncing around if you're watching solely because I want you to be able to hear me. But we're still on the right and you're facing the front of the mat. Good, one more full breath here. Make it sweet and meditative. Rise up on an inhale. We come into Virabhadrasana A and we twist. Hands come to the heart center. Bring your right quad parallel to the ground. Left elbow to the right knee. Modification, right hand to the right hip. Draw the right hip back as you reach to infinity through the heart, through the sternum. And then if it's accessible, take your left hand to the ground, right arm out. Draw your low belly in and up. Charge into the back leg. One more breath here. Exhale, release. Yogi's choice, we're going to come into downward facing dog. If you want to get fancy, you can move through scissors. Left shoulder underneath the knee. Kick out through the right leg, bend the elbows. Lift the left leg, vinyasa. Couple options. Let's choose through the quality of our breath. Option A, Balasana, child's pose. Option B, we can come into dolphin. I'm going to use a block. You're welcome to do that if you'd like. The block is in the L of the hand. You can curl your toes and keep your feet on the ground. Or option C would be Pincha Mayurasana. Come on up if that's in your practice. If you're up, join the necks of the big toes. Reach up through the ball of the foot and the inner edge of the heel. And then soften the tension that is born of the effort. And see if you can feel the strength of prana within inside you. We'll meet downward facing dog when you're ready. Free breath here. Easy side, left foot steps. Virabhadrasana A. Use the posture as a container for self-inquiry. Use it as an opportunity to wade through, discern between that which is your true self and that which is your thought patterns. Virabhadrasana B, warrior two. Yoga is a science of the nervous system. It's the psychology of the mind. So let things be interesting with your curiosity. Flip, left palm up, reverse, and then Utthita Trikonasana. Shorten the distance between the heels if that works for you, and lift the right arm. Breathe deeply into the experience. Inhale, rise on up. Square off your hips to the front of the mat. That might mean moving your back foot. Varvritta Trikonasana. Spill the pelvis forward, and as you do, go slow. Imagine that you are vomiting your spine really long. Right hand touches somewhere as the left arm lifts. Go ahead and knit the outer edge of the left hip back. And use the right heel as a rudder to the pose. Direct the left hip back through the strength of the right leg. Good, inhale. Rise up, we come into extended side angle on the right. Excuse me, on the left. Excite the toes. Bring some intelligence into your feet and notice how that communicates to the pelvic floor, to the bandhas. Inhale, rise on up into Virabhadrasana A, warrior one for our twist. Hands come to the heart center. Right elbow is going to meet your left knee with the biggest exhale. Take your left hand to your left hip. Draw back with your left hip to find solid ground with your right foot. And then extend up and out of the sternum. And if it's available, hand to the ground. Reach to infinity through the left fingertips. If your breath is smooth and meditative, you're doing the pose right. Exhale, release. Scissors, Kundanyasana if you'd like. Take it up, jump it back, Vinyasa. So again, the only reason that I am kind of moving around the mat is to help position myself for the microphone. Yogi's choice, child's pose, dolphin, or forearm stand. Consistent integration with the ability to hold multiple perspectives in any given moment. When you're ready, let's all meet in child's pose. And so when we're looking to find that unity of the self in this practice of self-inquiry, multiple perspectives, it's our ability to see all aspects of the self, the positive, the polished aspects, but also the rough edges, the fractured pieces, and our ability to hold all of those pieces with love, with compassion, and ultimately with unity. From downward facing dog, we're going to step our left foot forward, open up to the right long edge of the mat. Come on up, hands to your hips, Prasarita Padottanasana. So the outer edges of the feet are truly parallel to the outer edge of the mat. Zip the elbows, lift the chest, inhale. Draw the low belly in and up, exhale. Hands on the ground. With an inhale, come halfway up, nice and long spine. And then exhale, fold. So because one of the requests was core, let's play around here. So if it's in your practice, you're going to bring the crown of the head to the ground. Line up the wrists with the elbows. Start to find the plumb line as you take the legs up. Join the necks of the big toes. Reach up with the balls of the feet and the inner edge of the heel. And then split between the legs once again. And exhale, slowly let your toes touch the ground. Inhale, big toes touch. Exhale, split between the heels. Let the big toes touch the ground. Hover, hover, hover. Inhale, take it up. Join the necks of the big toes. One more. Exhale, hover, take it really slow. Inhale, up. Good, and then slower than you want to, lower down. We'll come halfway up when we get there. Exhale, hands to the hips, elbows up. Inhale, rise on up. Exhale completely. Inhale, arms to a T. Exhale, C. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, find inspiration for the posture, excitement for the experience. Exhale, let it be a discharge of the nervous system. Focus your eyes. Focus your breath. Inhale, rise on up, hands to the hips. Exhale. Inhale, arms to a T. Exhale, first two fingers, loop the big toes. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, pull it together. Allow the posture to be the container for self-inquiry. We do yoga, not to get good at yoga, but to understand ourselves deeper. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the hips, elbows up. Inhale, rise. Equal standing, Samastitihi. Vinyasa, inhale, arms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Move with the breath. Inhale into the back bend. Exhale, downward dog. From here, we're going to come into lizard pose. So the right foot steps to the outer edge of the mat. And then it's yogi's choice. Do you want to stay down on that left knee or up? Steady your gaze. Yoke into the experience. Let the sensations of the postures be the gateway into the present moment. Really the only place that yoga can happen, that it can be experienced. Consistent integration. Crooked monkey, if that's in your practice, you're going to reach back with your right hand. Take a big inhale up into the cavity of the chest, and then exhale, spin it clean. Visualizing the ribs moving around the spine. Good, release. From here, we straighten out our right leg. Ardha Hanuman, like so, or full splits if that's in your practice. You're welcome to wiggle in there. But wherever you go, be honest with the quality of the breath. For the breath is in direct communication to the nervous system. And the science of this practice is toning and restructuring the nervous system. From here, we're going to bend into our right knee, low lunge. Invite your front body into your back body as if you were tightening up a corset. And then as you reach up through your hands, visualize the lowest back rib lifting off the pelvis. Good, curl your left toes, fire up your left leg, draw the navel in and up, lift slowly, and then spin it around. Crescent lunge facing the back of the mat, and then drop the right knee, Anjaneyasana on the left. Again, can you breathe your lowest back rib up and off the pelvis? Thinking about lengthening through the back body. Lizard. So the hands come to the inner edge of the left foot. Soften between the shoulder blades. Lengthen on the front line of the spine. Crooked monkey, reach back with your left hand. Hold integrity in the front side. So low belly in and up. Pelvic floor lifted. And allow the sensations of the inner experience to take the mind internally. Exhale, release, straighten your left leg. Ardha Hanuman or full splits, yogi's choice. Be kind to yourself in these poses. Be clear with your intention for practice. Be clear with where you're putting your attention. Last exhale here, make it sweet. And then from here, we're going to walk over to the right long edge of the mat. Start to create a slight bend in the knees. Place your palms flat on the ground. You can use 2 blocks and lift the heels. For Tittivasana, 5, lift the sternum. 4, 3, 2, 1. Set the sitting bones down, Utta Vista Konasana, and fold. So here's something to chew on. We've all heard this quote before. The way we do one thing is the way that we do everything. And if we use the postures as the container for self-inquiry, we can start to study the way that we come in, we come out of the posture, the way we speak to ourselves, how we cling or let go within the pose, how we may or may not be goal-oriented. And then as you start to explore who you are from the inside out, you can see that wisdom travel with you off the mat. Inhale, rise up. Right arm along the right leg. Side bend. Horizontally breathe into your left side body. Inhale through the strength of your core, rise up, switch sides. Exhale down into that right sitting bone, ground it, and then inhale up into the heart. Good, come on up. So yogi's choice. We're coming into downward facing dog here. So you could spin to the top of the mat, go through a vinyasa. You could skip the vinyasa, or you can play around with the Mula Bandha checks, right? Mula Bandhas are root seal. It's the pelvic floor activating and lifting. It's right where the Kundalini energy resides. It's where our strength, our power is. It's where life is formed. So with an exhale, kiss your shin. Inhale, first start with lifting the hips. If that's going well, lift the heels. If that's going well, you're going to take your right leg between the hands, open up into scissors, and then make your way back through. Woo-wee. Let's do it again on our easy side. This time we don't have to go back through. Hallelujah. We jump back, chaturanga. Exhale, kiss your shin. Think like thoughts. Take it up. Send it back. Oh my goodness gracious. Vinyasa. Take a couple free breaths in downward dog. And with every inhale, think about inspiration from within. And every exhale, discharge that which does not serve you. Look through your hands, step, jump, or walk all the way through. Sit down. Okay, so this always happens, right? These time gods, they come and they set in. So we're going to kind of fast forward a little bit so we can get into the core. And in Rocket One, we work this really fun sequence, which has a little bit of magic to it. You do a twisting posture, slip into some core work, vinyasa into handstand to the second side. I'm going to keep the tempo as best as I can. Participate as feels good for you. Let the practice meet you where you are at. We'll start with Janu Shirshasana, right heel to the left inner thigh, and then exhale, start to fold. So as we explore the points of opposition within a posture, we can feel length, strength, and stability. So with an exhale, root your right sitting bone firmly into the ground, and with an inhale, extend your sternum to the toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. From here, lie down. Interlace your fingers behind your head, zip your elbows, look at your navel. The intention of this sequence is to keep the navel descending down towards the ground. Exhale, slowly lower your right, keep the navel dropping, inhale, pull it up. Exhale, left, inhale, pull it up. Synchronize the movement with the breath. Exhales are a discharge of that which does not serve us. Inhales are an opportunity to experience inspiration from within. Good, we're gonna pike it up, Navasana. Modification, you can hold the backs of the knees. You can take the full form, it's yogi's choice. Cross the ankles, step, jump, or walk it back, Vinyasa. Linking the movement with the breath. From downward facing dog, a couple kicks up into handstand. It really doesn't matter what happens. Focus on the inner experience. When you've had enough, we meet downward dog. Look through your hands. Sit down, second side. Left heel comes into the right inner thigh. Exhale, fold. So as you come into this aponic posture, this grounding pose, notice how it plays into the nervous system. Emphasize that by exhaling deeply to the bitter end. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Okay, so currently I am skipping the full Navasana for where I am postpartum, but that doesn't mean you have to. You go for it, girls. If you'd like full vinyasa, full Navasana, and we're gonna do it with the lifts. So if you have two blocks, they can become your very best friends. Lift your sternum. Take tension out of your neck. Cross at your ankles. Zip your knees in towards the chest. Place your hands down. Inhale up. Round two. See if you can soften the tension that is born of the effort. And start to find the experience of the endless life force energy within inside of you and around you. Fuse yourself with it. Cross the ankles, tuck the knees in towards the chest. Inhale up. Round three, last one for this moment in time. Smile into it. Lift your sternum. Get tall in the front line of the spine. Cross. Inhale up. Send it back. Vinyasa. Beautiful work. And then again, the option to go upside down is available. That might mean child's pose. It might mean downward dog. Let the practice meet you where you're at. And vinyasa will wipe that clean. From downward facing dog, look through your hands, step, jump, or walk all the way through. Marichyasana A. So create some distance between heel and inner thigh so you have a nice foundation. Reach forward, wrap in front of the shin. Grab what you got, be grateful that you have it. Take an inhale across the front line of the spine. And as you fold, imagine that the upper lip we're looping around the big toe. And then experience the nervous system shifting. The core work, the inversion, all lift the experience. And in that lift, we can find our intellect, we can find inspiration. And then as we come into this forward fold, aponic flow of prana, let yourself soften. Let yourself release and surrender. Inhale, halfway lift. Place the hands flat on the ground, lift the right toes to start. Butt up, heel up. 5, navel in and up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, coming right into Marichyasana C. So the right hand kickstands behind you, clip. Take a nice big inhale up and out of the crown of the head, and then spin it clean. Now see if you can bring some intelligence into your left leg. And as your heart works behind you, can the outer edge of the right hip look forward, work forward? And in that opposition, clear space. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. All right, next round of core work. So come onto your back. Let's see. We all don't have a block, right? So we'll skip that one. I was thinking about doing something different. My core experience right now is very limited, but if you would like, I'm not going to demo this, but I'm going to give you this option. What you would do is you would lower the left leg, but then you would reach the left elbow to the right knee, so you can get a little cross action. That is another option, and again, you would lower the right leg, the right elbow would come towards the left knee. That's a good variation. Let the foundation of this posture be descending the navel to the spine. So you could imagine that I were coming around and putting my hand underneath your low back, but I wouldn't be able to get through because the front body is integrating with intelligence into the back body. Link the movement with the breath and go slower than you want to. Good. If you'd like, we're going to join the necks of the big toes. I'm, again, not going to participate in this, but doesn't mean I can't teach it. You're going to straighten your legs down, so your legs are going to hover over the ground, and then you're going to reach your arms up towards the sky. Now draw the navel in and up, zip front ribs into back ribs, and then inhale up, cross at the ankles, vinyasa. Next round of handstands. If you would like to take them, please do. Be kind to yourself, be kind to the breath. So I had a teacher once say to me as I was coming into an inversion, fight for it, fight for it. And that really, really helped me in the moment. As we're kind of starting to come out of the pose, it's really easy to give up. But I encourage you to really put the grit in and fight for that last moment. Good work, ladies. All right, second side. Come through a vinyasa, Mardi Chiasana, A on the left. Left leg bends, you've got some space between foot and thigh, and then you're gonna wrap in front of the shin. With an inhale, come halfway up, nice and long spine, exhale, fold. Soften the tension that's born of the effort. Find that sweet release. Inhale, halfway lift. Place hands under the feet, hands on the ground, lift your hips, lift your heel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right into Marichiasana. See where we're twisting towards the left. Take a moment to breathe the ribs up and off the pelvis. Draw the low belly in and up and spin it clean. Each inhale, we have an opportunity to find inspiration from within. Every exhale, we have the opportunity to discharge that which does not serve us. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Due to time, we're going to come right onto our backs from here. So if Urdhva Dhanurasana is in your practice, upward facing bow, which for all three of you, I'm pretty positive it's in it. So if you're ready for that today, you're going to come in, we've got 3 rounds, or you can practice Sept Bandha Sarvangasana with me. It's your choice. So if you're coming into full bow, you can bring your hands by your ears, fingers face your toes. Otherwise, we start to walk our hands underneath us, maybe interlacing fingers. Now in your back bend, your legs should be saying, oh my. We never want to hear oh my from our spine. So allow the strength and the stability of the legs to create a softening and release in the spine. Exhale, release. One full breath here. Inhale up into the collarbones, find the top of the breath. Exhale down to the tip of the tailbone. Round two, take it up. Inhale for inspiration. Exhale for surrender. Finding consistent integration. Each moment is an opportunity to find unity. Our ability to hold multiple perspectives at once. Exhale, release. Full breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. And release. Close your eyes and take a moment to experience the echo of the pose, the residue that remains. And that sensation that you feel on your skin, that's the movement of prana. Bring your knees into your chest, make some circles on your low back. And then we'll come into Paschimottanasana, rock forward, legs out, and start to fold. So the container of this posture allows the diaphragm to move in such a way that it stimulates the kidney region, sending messages to our nervous system that we are safe, we can rest, restore, and then ultimately all the wellness systems of the body are able to function. Cell reproduction, immunity, digestion. So emphasize that experience by deepening the sensation of the exhale. And let the body discharge. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. So from here, we'll come into, and we'll finish with the last two inversions. We're coming close into time, but BKS Iyengar would call these the king and the queen, and then no practice should ever be completed without them. If shoulder stand, if you'd like to modify shoulder stand for any way, you're going to put the block underneath your hips and take your legs up like so. Otherwise, it's definitely called shoulder stand for a reason, where none of the weight is on our neck. So I always like to start in Halasana, and if you're looking at the screen, you'll be able to see this rotation. I want an external rotation of the shoulders. So I flip my palm up, and you see how my shoulder externally rotated and moved onto my back. That allows for the weight to be properly distributed within this inversion. Join the necks of the big toes and reach vertically through the ball of the foot and the inner edge of both heels. With that, turn on the inner seams of the legs. And notice how the container of this posture puts pressure on the scalp in such a way that it pacifies the vrittis. It calms the brainstem. and allows the experience of yoga to happen. Halasana, toes touch the ground behind the head. Maybe you can interlace the fingers. Find the sweet sensation of release. And then unravel this pose coming into the fish. Elbows dig into the ground. The chest expands and lifts. The head falls back in a way that we open the throat so that we can say what we mean and mean what we say. Releasing through a vinyasa. Shirshasana for 5 breaths. If you'd like to modify Shirshasana, you're welcome to come into Balasana. Seek to experience the plumb line, strengthening and lengthening Sushumna Nadi. Flooding the intellect with the prana that we've moved and cultivated. Balasana. Vinyasa. Take your seat. Go ahead and grab opposite elbows behind you. Inhale as you siphon the prana in, and then exhale, fold. Forehead may touch the ground or a block, stimulating that place between the eyebrows, which they say is our inner wisdom, our insight. Inhale, come on up, Padmasana, stretch out through the arms. 5 audible breaths. Inhale with sound. Exhale with sound. Inhale for inspiration. Exhale for surrender. Now go ahead and release all effort of the breath. Close down the windows of the eyes. and chew on the sensation of samadhi, starting by creating union in your personal package, ultimately integrating that with all things. And then ultimately experiencing the unity with your personal package and that of the divine. Shavasana, you're welcome to lie back or stay seated. Let the integration occur. Go ahead and create some gentle movements in your hands and your feet. Roll over to your right slowly and lazily. Our ability to hold multiple perspectives at once is the practice of samadhi. Come up to your seat. Exhale that which does not serve you. Inhale the inspiration from within. Shanti. 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 Namaste, ladies. Thank you for practicing. It was lovely to see all of you and your inspiring practices. Any questions, comments, or concerns? But you have to unmute yourself.
Thank you, Sarah. Great class. I've missed you.
So
Yeah,
good.
thank you so much.
What, Lily?
Thank you so much. I needed that.
Thank you. Thank you. So, normally when I teach, I don't practice, and it's like something that I'm kind of like a firm believer on. But in these Zoom settings, it's so nice. I like am practicing. It's so nice. So thank you.
We love seeing you practice.
Always an inspiration.
It's coming together slowly and surely. Well, for the rest of the month, I'm kind of skipping around on these rocket classes, and then we've got consistent Friday Ashtanga inspired at 8:30 a.m. So hopefully I get to see you guys again and have a lovely evening.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.